This is Fox 59 Live at 5.
I came to plead and implore you to keep this out front and center.
1 year later and still no answers for the family of Libby German and Abby Williams. Tonight the investigation continues as their families remember the precious girls they lost. Thanks for joining us today live at 5. I'm Dan Spieler.
And I'm Fianchin Stinger. Good evening. It was 1 year ago today that 14-year-old Libby German and 13-year-old Abby Williams disappeared in Delphi. State police just updated us on the case and the investigation moments ago.
Their parents dropped them off near the Monon High Bridge February 13th last year. The family reported them missing a few hours later, and a massive search was started. The girls' bodies were found the next day. It
was difficult for the entire community. It still is. Police releasing a picture of a man seen walking on the bridge that same day and a sketch of the suspected killer. You've seen it over and over again. There it is. And now a year later, this case is still unsolved. However, investigators tell us today they are not giving up.
I believe we're one piece of the puzzle away from figuring out who this individual is. Then the real work begins. So our commitment is longstanding. It's real. It's as real today as it was 365 days ago, and it'll be as real tomorrow as it was today. We are not going away. We are not going away.
And right here tonight, for the first time, the families are talking to Fox 59, taking us through the search for their missing girls.
Fox 59's Alexis McAdams is live in Delphi with that story tonight. Alexis.
That's right. Even 1 year later, there's still so many unanswered questions for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German. Standing back out here today in the trails, the family thought about those questions again, and we asked Indiana State Police to answer some of those tonight, like what happened that day exactly 1 year ago out here in the Delphi historic trails, and how was the killer just able to walk away?
And he saw something, and he couldn't figure out what it was. And there was two deer standing up there, but as he looked up to what that was, is when he saw them.
It was a volunteer searcher who discovered the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German, laying in the grass between these trees deep in the woods.
He called his wife, who was with us, and said, "We found him." My sister come up and she was just crying, and she said, "I'm so sorry."
Just 24 hours before, the girls were hiking these trails, dropped off around 1:45 that afternoon on February 13th. 25 minutes later, Libby posted this Snapchat. By 3:11, they'd gone silent. Libby's dad trying to track them down.
He got there and nobody was there, and he ran into a guy and asked, he was coming from the bridge, and said, did you happen to see two girls up there? And he said, no, I didn't. By 4 o'clock, it's like, oh man.
By 5 o'clock, a full-blown search party was combing these woods. The whole time, the families think their girls are just hurt, cold, and lost.
Somebody's fallen, gotten hurt. They had a terrible sense of direction. Something has happened. We just didn't know what.
Even 1 year later, what happened is still hard for the girls' families to process.
We know where they were, and we know where they ended up. And there is 500 different ways in your head that it could have happened or could have gone, and how they got there.
I've gone through every scenario. I've walked that. I've lived it. I've imagined.
The family's holding on to key pieces of evidence, like this picture, the detailed sketch, and the killer's voice. Both families keeping the faith that the man who murdered their little girls will be brought to justice.
They will get to the bottom of all of it eventually. I've never doubted for 1 minute, because any minute now, this is all going to be over.
And tonight, investigators tell us they're very confident they're getting closer to catching this killer. They even referenced that if he's listening tonight to any of this coverage, their message for them is they're coming for him. Their arrest could come tonight or tomorrow. Tonight, though, Abby and Libby still need your help. The families need your help, and Indiana State Police need your help. So if you have any information on the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German, pick up the phone and call the Delphi tip line. That number, 844-459-5786. Reporting tonight live in Delphi, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox 59 News.
All right, Alexis, our hearts definitely with